Okay, so this video is $30 value vintage. Same rules as vintage, except your deck has to be $30 or less on Moxfield per TCG player pricing. So this was games I recorded about in the middle of November this year in my first tournament I played for Value Vintage. This was hosted by the Value Vintage Discord. It was a free to entry event with $200 in prizes, which is pretty sweet. You don't really get that kind of value in most tournaments, so I recommend in most formats checking that out next month. I think at the end of December, there's going to be another one, I think on the 28th of December. So probably right around when this video actually goes out. I recommend checking it out. So I have another video on my channel for my testing matches for this. So I played a bunch of games on Magic Online just in the practice room like I usually do to practice for this tournament with this deck. And I have that video on my channel already if you want to check that out. If you just go back like a month or so, you'll see another Goblins video. That's a bunch of testing matches, but this is the 5 rounds of the actual tournament. Now, I was going back and forth on whether to actually upload this because once you get to round 4 and 5 of this tournament, I played extremely sloppy. I get tired playing tournaments. It's not an excuse; it's just more of a matter of fact thing. So the gameplay in rounds 4 and 5 is not spectacular. Like round 5, you'll see it if you watch the match. I could have won the match if I would have just sacked Torch Courier in response to one play. And I talk about it and do another play that I had to do in order to win, and then just forgot to sack the Torch Courier and lost when all I had to do was sack it and then win immediately. So it's that level of bad play. So you've been warned. Rounds 4 and 5 are not stellar, but rounds 1, 2, and I think 3 are still pretty good. So if you want to check those out, that's fine. And of course, if you want to watch the whole thing and let me know that I'm silly down in the comments, that's all good too. Like, comment, subscribe, and point out my misplays down below. That's fine. I'm always trying to improve as a player. Of course, like I think everybody else is. So, getting feedback where I've done something that I shouldn't have is appreciated, especially in a format that's fairly new for me. I mean, I've been playing this for about, I guess, 2, 3 months now, but as of, playing in this tournament, I'd only been playing for like a month, so a lot was still pretty new to me at that time. Also, the event was live streamed on YouTube by some people in the Value Vintage Discord, which was pretty sweet. So I was on quote unquote on stream or on for that, which was fun. Luckily, my games when I was on stream there, I checked later, were quite good. So that was nice. The general idea here, if you didn't watch the first video, I recommend watching the first video for the intro. I go through the whole combo here and I explain it. So if you want to understand how this deck works, check out the other video where I go through all that. I guess the other thing is I fixed a bunch of audio issues since in the last like month or so. I had some issues with noise gaining and noise suppression in OBS, which I think I've all corrected now, but there might be a little bit of static or whatnot in the actual gameplay video, so again, you've been warned there. But just to quickly go over how the deck works, we're built around Goblin Recruiter, and what that does, it lets you stack your deck with Conspicuous Snoop, Torch Courier, and Kiki-Jiki. So let's say you have no cards in hand and you've got 3 mountains in play. You go play Goblin Recruiter. You make a pile of Kiki-Jiki third, Torch Courier second, Conspicuous Snoop first. You pass the turn, draw. You play Conspicuous Snoop. This lets you, with its ability here, play Torch Courier off the top. You play Torch Courier, and you sack it to give Snoop haste. Now the top card of your library is Kiki-Jiki. You use Snoop to keep, because it gets Kiki-Jiki's ability now. So you just take Snoop, target itself, make a copy. The new copy targets itself. You make like, 10, 15 Snoops. Just, at least 10, just to make sure nothing funny happens. Then, once you've got enough Snoops, you target the Goblin Recruiter instead of itself, restacking your deck, and you put Mogg Mob on top. Now, Conspicuous Snoop gets Mogg Mob's ability, and that lets you take all the Snoops that you copied and just throw them at your opponent for 3 damage each, which kills them. So this is an expensive card. We're only running one of them. It's like $8 at the time of playing in the tournament last month. And it has to be in our deck. If we draw it, that's bad. So we're playing 3 of these Volcanic Spites, which somebody in Discord recommended, and it was really great. So it's a removal spell, but the most important thing is the second part of it lets us put the Kiki-Jiki back into our deck on the bottom, which is great. That's exactly where we want it, and draw a card. That's quite nice. We've also got 2 Chaos Warps. This one's basically like if you have the Kiki-Jiki in play, we can Chaos Warp it back into our deck. It's another way of getting Kiki-Jiki back in. This card just also has been pretty good. There are randomly cards like Energy Field that you have to beat in this format, and just having a like catch-all red answer to these cards was been really nice. We've got a secondary plan here of just beatdown. This card is a house in the Legacy version of Goblins. It doesn't look scary, but this card is incredible, especially when you've got like 4 mana and you can just start like double pumping all your guys. And you can do tricks like you attack, you get the 1/1 token from attacking with Pack Tactics down below, then you pump twice, and now it's a, even just the 1/1 attacking is a 3/1, the Battle Cry Goblin's a 4/2. Any other your creatures you get +2/+0. It gets very scary very quickly, so we want to be comboing with the Goblin Recruiter combo. That's like our, a way to win turn 3, which is quite good, but like, if our opponents, stop that, this is a very solid plan B. Let's see what the rest of the deck is. This card is also pretty reasonable, just casting it, like as removal. We got 1 Goblin Rabblemaster, so part of the trick with Goblin Recruiter is to try and set up the combo, but then like underneath it, you can put like extra cards so that if your combo gets stopped, you just have like a solid aggro plan B. And Rabblemaster is a great aggro plan B. This card gets very scary very quickly. Makes goblins, it gets huge, like Pile Driver. It's very cool. Goblin Matron can find whatever you need. Usually it's going to be Goblin Recruiter or Snoop though. Gempalm's a fun one. You cycle this and deal damage with number of goblins, which is pretty cool. Old classic Goblins card back from when I played Goblins in Legacy. Talked about that one. Snoop's half the combo, and also just a great card advantage engine for grindier games. Wardriver is sort of like a 5th Battle Cry Goblin for the aggro plan. Cratermaker is a fun one. This is kind of a utility card. We can kill like critical creatures. We can remove permanents sometimes with it. It's just a good utility piece. Now the 1-drops, we got Torch Courier here. The other 1-drops, you could kind of mess around with some of these. A lot of these are cheap, which is part of the reason. Torch Courier gives you mana, which helps with some of the combo lines, and also just a nice 1-drop. Reckless Lackey is not very good, but it's like very cheap, and this deck is like very close to the dollar amount that we're limited to, the $30. This is kind of just you want some lower cost goblins for like the Battle Cry Goblin plan B, but like this is one we could replace if we get some more money. Greasewrench is an interesting one. It's 1 mana 2/1, so it's aggressively costed and pretty good with like the aggro plan. And the exhaust is nice. So like mid game, if you got just like 2 lands in hand you don't need, you can just discard them, draw more cards, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Like that's just a very reasonable card on turn 1 and a very reasonable card mid game. So I quite like this one. I don't think I used the exhaust as much as I could have. It's just kind of an ability that I sort of forgot about a number of times, but like just remember that this card is both good on turn 1 and it's good on like turn 5 because of its ability. Just try and remember that. Our mana base is very cheap and very simple. We just want to cast mountains. We've got double and triple red cards, so like, yep. The sideboard looks silly because we don't have any money. Shock we can bring in against some of the like creature decks that are can race us. It's like costs no money and is deal some damage. Obviously, this would preferably be lightning bolt, but we can't afford lightning bolts. And the Lantern of the Lost was the cheapest graveyard hate I could find at the time of playing this in mid-November for the tournament. Um, yeah, but again, ideally we'd have a real sideboard here. We just don't have the money. If Kiki-Jiki ever comes down, we could. Like, we're only playing a 3 Goblin Recruiter, and that's for money reasons too, obviously. But yeah, if the deck, comes down in price a little bit, I think there's a lot of different things you could do with this shell. I think the Kiki-Jiki combo is really, really strong, and it lets Goblin Recruiter just be a 1-card combo. The other Goblin decks I've seen in this format are like multi-card combos in different colors and stuff. And I'm not saying they're bad or anything, but the reason that this card in like normal expensive vintage is quite good. It managed to top 16 at Eternal Weekend this year in the US, which is like the biggest vintage tournament of the year. It had over 400 players, and an unpowered Goblins deck did get top 16. And a lot of the power is just this is just a 1-card combo, like I talked about earlier in the video. It just sets up the whole combo by itself, even with no other cards, and it's just very powerful. And you can't do that without Kiki-Jiki. You do need this card in order for Goblin Recruiter to be at its best. So I think this is a deck that, just because of the cost point, is always going to be kind of on the fringes. Sometimes they'll be viable, sometimes not, until we get like another printing of Kiki-Jiki, which drives down the price, and then we're talking. Then we could then we can revisit this. All right. Anyway, I've talked enough. Let's get into the games now, and let me know what you think. Okay, here we go. Round one. On the play. Um. Is this good enough? It's close, right? We've got mana. We don't have a Goblin Recruiter or a Snoop. We have the Matron. The slow. It's slow. I think it's a keep. I don't love it where I'm at right now. See what we're up against. I think there's an argument that this is a mulligan. Or first. I don't know what that means. We just played the Battle Cry Goblin here. Living. Get that. Right? Um. think we do want to get a Goblin Recruiter here. This is probably a big turn here. They can put this giant thing into play. And this giant thing. Get haste. Die. Living end. Need to leave open mana to be able to kill this thing. Fact. We want Torch Courier, Kiki-Jiki, Snoop. We want to be able to play in. Let's say they flip our board, all of our creatures go to the graveyard. We have nothing. We want to draw Conspicuous Snoop, play land, play Torch Courier, play another Goblin Recruiter, then Kiki-Jiki so that we can do our full Goblin Recruiter as well in our. Snoop, Goblin Recruiter, Kiki, Torch Courier. Up. I'm realizing now we have extra mana with the Prospector. I'm wondering, and we have a draw with the Volcanic Spite. If we played the Prospector and we sacked all four, would have 4 or 5 mana. Drawing with. Actually, we could have won this turn. I screwed this up. I didn't think this. No, we wouldn't. Be short 1, right? Play Prospector. Attack for 3 mana. We'd have 4. No, we'd be 1 short because be able to play Snoop, and no, we are 1 short. So I think they're going to Living End here. I assume. If they can do it at instant speed, the thing is here, if they wait and they do this at instant speed, they can wrath our board. I do think we have to wait then. Suppose they can wrath our board. I think we have to wait. Need 5 mana. The fact that they can do this at instant. Oh. I think we wait because kind of just I think we wait. See what they do. Three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't actually kill them. I think we need the Volcanic Spite. I don't think for how they can. I think we're okay. Unless I'm really missing something. Block 2. I think we just win here. Just going to attack and then see what they do. All right. We got a graveyard base deck here. Living End. Now they might board into rhinos, right? Like we've got the 3 lanterns of the law, so I'll bring them in. We can cycle this if we don't need it. Something like this. Try that. So we've got a pretty decent hand here, but we've got Kiki-Jiki in our hand. And no way of putting it on the bottom, so I think we have to mulligan this. Not great. Um, I think we keep and just hope to draw mountain. Draw a mountain. It's this is risky for sure. You need to draw a mountain, not a mountain. That's really good. The problem. Our mana short of casting all of these goblin mates. We kept the. I mean, the one. This is. I mean, this is on me. Obviously, keeping a one lander with multiple matrons is not worth. Works. Get them their combo here. Um, Another one. Seven. Yeah, trample too, right? There's no way we can win this. Don't think. 22 trample. I just. We do want just to be able to shuffle the big fatties back in. Try that. We will play. Torch Courier. A Conspicuous Snoop. A Kiki-Jiki. After that, anything below it. The other Goblin Recruiter to set up the combo. Goblin Recruiter on the bottom. Torch Courier. Oops. See. Thing is, like, if they turn to Living End and instant speed, it disrupts our combo. Interesting. Mogg Mob. Mogg Mob on top. Get our opponent. See? Alright, good game. Got to do the combo there. Alright, here we go. Round 2. We're on the plate. Deep. Island. This is kind of a tougher pile because there's a good chance they've gotten removed. We will go for the combo. Not super confident we'll get it. So got Kiki-Jiki, Torch Courier, Conspicuous Snoop. That's going to be our first 3 cards. What about after that, though? Um, Goblin Recruiter. That let's see what they got here. Fixes. Could have like a foil. I'm trying to think of what like free interaction I have to be worried about here. Take a bunch of Snoops. You don't need this many, I just like to make way more than what I'm used to. The old vintage kill didn't have the mob boss on it thing, so I had to make 20 of these. Kind of used to clicking it a bunch of times. You only need 7 now, I think. Mogg Mob. Got there. Alright, post board. I don't think we board anything for this matchup. think we just run it back. We don't want the shocks, really, I don't think. I'd rather... We can just trade with the... We have removal, you know. Don't really know what they're playing. Still fairly new to the format. You know, I've got... This is... Fourth deck I've tried. Number of games in the practice room, but, like, read, you know, deck lists, but... Still don't 100% know what we're up against. Yeah, we'll keep that. Do want a third land here. Got our third land, Prospector. Um, I don't really want to run my Goblin Recruiter into what looks like a counterspell mana. I think we're gonna play this one slower. I want our opponent to tap out for something. Courier. Snoop. Kiki. I think after that, I want to do another Snoop into the Recruiter. Backup plan. So we got Torch Courier, Kiki-Jiki, Snoop, Recruiter, Recruiter. Goblin Recruiter, other Snoop, Kiki-Jiki, Torch Courier, Conspicuous. Don't need to trade with the Strix here. There's no... Just gonna pass here. They do. Got a lot of mana up. Mana is scary. We got a couple options here. We can just go for the combo, but they've got 5 mana up and they're playing a control deck, obviously. I don't love that. And I want to play the Battle Cry Goblin. Go for like an aggro-y plan. Go from there. Okay. Um, Try our other Torch Courier here. In response to that, oh no, we can't do it. Yeah, we just screwed this up, didn't we? Should have played the Torch Courier first. That was stupid. Yeah, no, I just punted. Um, just punted. Interesting. So if we swing all, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're gonna have to block. They won't be able to return the Baleful Strix, and that would be. So we got to see if they got a sweeper here. A sweeper would be pretty bad for us. Got there. All right. Game. Okay, here we go. What that means. Probably a combo, right? Feels like Hypergenesis. Um, Rhinos, that kind of thing. This feels like a Rhinos-y Hypergenesis. Nope, kind of deny. Hansa. Skirk Prospector would be. For a 1-drop creature. Interesting. Um, what did they exile? Cleansing Wildfire. Um, I mean, we can play the Battle Cry Goblin. Play the Battle Cry Goblin. Swing for 2. They're at 14. We untap. We play a Reckless Lackey. Pump. Swing. Cycle kill the 10th. Like, we can play Goblin Recruiter, and then if they don't have, like, the Gunslinger Wildfire doesn't matter. But if they have, like, um, like, there's definitely a case to be made to play the Battle Cry, because we also need lands. Actually, this would mess up our pile, right? I think we just do this. The shuffle, like, we can get the land, but then we have to shuffle our pile, which isn't good. Yep. Got not attacking. Um, think we're in trouble. Kill the raptor. Kind of like they have an onboard removals. Tricky. Yeah, that has first strike. We can't do the combo. They've got onboard piece of removal. Uh, Interesting spot to be. Conspicuous. How to beat this? Actually, beating hate with goblins is quite hard. Um, Maybe we just go and get two conspicuous snoops down. Recruiter. Go from there. Try that. Recruiter on the bottom. Mogg Mob. Go from there. Can attack into the first striker. Wait. Yeah, not being able to kill this thing is a problem. Where'd you get them? Let's see if they blow up a Snoop end of turn. I assume they do. Perhaps they want to pay an energy here. Four mana. What? Let's see. Want that Snoop back. Just go Reckless Lackey. Gotta pay for their prisons. Yep.
We're just dead. They could pay because they were able to pay for both static prisons. I think that just kills us. Oh, I should have just killed this before combat. That was dumb. So they can fling this, right? I screwed up. We're just dead now. Um, whoopsies. The only thing we can do. We're just dead, aren't we? I don't think it matters. Um, don't feel like I played this one. So the only way we can survive this turn, though. I'm gonna do it. That when they drew that galvanic discharge, that was brutal. They would have drawn a land. We could have. I think we would have been okay actually. They got this. Like there's no. They have two energies, so we don't get either thing back. Kind of trample over us, and we're just dead. They can pay for both of the static prisons. Um, 3 man is three. That one creature is really good. The removal creature, because we are too cheap to afford lightning bolts. We can't kill it. Kind of a problem. I will bring in a little bit of removal. A little bit. We could hit it with Volcanic Spite, which is something. Have tools for it. I don't know. Try that. Yeah. Opponent's got a lot of removal for us, which is a little. Opponent's on 7. Could be a tough one. In a mountain. Ugh. Still go for it. I don't love this. We need more lands, so we're just going to do a very light stack here. Torch Courier. Kiki. And if it doesn't kill them, we try and find lands to. Torch Courier. What they got. This is not a good position, I understand. We can put the Snoop back underneath with the Volcanic Spite. They got like a removal spell, we do. Got a lot of them. They got like their lightning bolty thing. Gonna do is the lightning bolty thing. They're deciding what. Or maybe they got a removal spell and they're just gonna try and use it strategically. Um, lightning bolty thing. They're gonna wait on the lightning bolt. Yep, there we go. Yeah. Lightning bolty thing. I think it's still worth it to go for it. If they didn't have that, we just. That's bad. That's quite bad for us. They had all that mana denial the other game, and then if we had a land here, we'd actually be in okay shape, but we don't. I think we're just dead. So unfortunate. They got their engine going, now we're just dead. Um, I mean, we'll keep playing. We're not literally dead yet, so we'll play a bit more, but I don't see how they got their engine online, so we're in trouble. Yeah, that's bad for us. One drop would be amazing right here. if they go for Forge. Nope, they went for Lost Well. Wanted them to go for Forge. They got a lot of removal. And they got card advantage, so I think it's just structurally not a very good matchup for. Like, we don't. Our build doesn't have a lot of card advantage in it. We've got just the Snoop for card advantage. Play like a grindier Goblin deck if you're playing like. Something like there are card advantage Goblins. Um, got the called again the initiative, which is. Can't do anything this turn though. We need a good top deck. Minskin Boo. Okay, that's like we're dead. They get the initiative back then. Yeah, it's brutal. That's. Wonder if they drew that. They must have. Um. Do we forge or do we lost well here? I think we want the damage to be. I think we keep the mountain in hand in case we draw another thingy. Are they going to pay our thingies? Got our Cratermaker back, which is nice. But they have to have 3 bricks in hand, basically, for us to get out of this, which is impossible. See what they get off the Chaos Swirl. Yeah, another Minskin. That's why we did it after the combat there to... We didn't hit like a land there. Something like a brick. We need a brick. Not get a brick, unfortunately. We got the... I don't think it really matters what they do. I think we're just... Yeah, we can hit them to 5 off the trap. Can't. Anything else. Yeah, that's a problem. They get the initiative back, and they're going to get the throne now. Yeah, getting the Minskin Boo was a tough one. We got closer than I thought we were going to get this game. We would have warped them into a land. We might have been okay, actually. Wildfire. Yeah. Getting thrown here is brutal. Yeah, nothing. We can deal 3 if we draw a Bogart Mob. I don't think there's any way we can I don't think there's any way we can more than that. I don't. Not sure how we can approach this matchup better. I feel like since we don't have a lot of card advantage in the deck, just we are a bit we are a bit weak in this matchup. There's a way of changing that. Good game. All right, here we go. Yes. We're gonna play. And the last match lasted a while as I stumbled through how to lose slowly. Apparently, that's all I was doing. I'm gonna try and rally here in round 4. We're 2-1. Yeah, we can keep that. We can keep that. One those mulling hard, which is interesting. We're on the Laris, so if we don't win, they certainly outgrind us. We should probably have all of our mountains be the same type. I don't know. Need to fix my mountains. Alright. Mountain. Oh, that would have been a good one. Start with the Snoop. Try and blow up our Snoop. We can sack it. Quite good. Do we want to stack it? We just want to keep playing game. Want them to be using their energy. You don't really want to kill this thing. They want this thing to die. Let's see. Kind of want to save the Mogg Mob for Luris. Could just go get a recruiter here. I'd like to draw a land, I think. Interesting. Do that resolves first. Maybe I should have just played the mob out and killed these two. But there's definitely that was correct, and not just saving it for Luris. Torch Courier. Torch Courier. Kiki-Jiki. Conspicuous Snoop. I guess Recruiter. Try and go for it if we don't. Torch Courier. Kiki-Jiki. Extra Recruiter. Extra Snoop. Kiki-Jiki. Torch Courier. Normal Snoop. I assume they got a removal spell here. I'm just curious what. Start with this. Play the Torch Courier. Wondering if we can play around, because even if we give it haste, gonna do removal now. Trying to figure out when they're going to use their removal, right? Worried about removal. Okay, let's see. They were on a mold of 5 that game. Want some of our bolt or shocks. We want some of our shocks. The Reckless Lackey's not great. Shock there. You. Maybe one Chaos Swarp, another shock. Still want some of the early goblins, though. I think this is fine. Try that. Feel like there's Leyline of Sanctity's played in the meta, but I feel like if you're on Lyris, they're probably not playing Leyline of Sanctity. So I think taking out one of the Chaos Warps is okay. I'm not really sure what they sideboard in that we would want the warp for, but again, I don't know. So good guess, could just get got here. This is an interesting hand. We need a second mana, and then we are golden. Got 2 draws to do it. I think we do keep that. Obviously, this is, you wouldn't want to keep this. I would understand. Got 1 land, but the 1 land is good. Not what we. Greasewrench. And? Ooh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's not a bad one. Our Snoop gets killed, that's okay. Actually close to winning there. If another Goblin we could have played, we could have won. Red, Dogmatic Blessed. Fair enough. This is a tough situation. I kind of want to play the Prospector and the Bolt Shock. I could swing here. If they block, I get to kill this. Or I could just keep open the mana. If I play Torch Courier and Prospector out, next turn I play Goblin Recruiter. They're not gonna. Got one artifact. That's not an artifact. I only have one artifact. That is scary though. That thing. I think the attack, and if they block, then curse them. I think it's okay. If they block, we get to kill this thing. And I want to kill this thing. Alright, see what they got. Ooh. Pretty good. They gonna put some counters on their I assume. Oh. Right. Want like a conspicuous Snoop. I think a conspicuous Snoop. Didn't even win actually. We're just, I think, in a lot of trouble. We want to land. Got our land. Give things trample. I think we're in trouble. In trouble. Um, it's 6 mana, I guess. We can play Matron. Back all three, get 3 mana. Get Snoop. Play Torch Courier. Have to Kiki exactly on top. We're gonna have to block a lot, so I think we might have to just play Recruiter and Torch Courier. Block with everything except the Torch Courier, and then just go for a win that way. That's the play. Gives us an extra body on the table. I think if this doesn't work out, we just die. So that's bad. Yeah, this is gonna kill. They're just dead, aren't we? 9 trampled in. Block 3. Yeah, we're just. That was a tough one. Maybe the Chaos Warp might be more useful than one. Maybe another Greasewrench goes out for one more shock. Try that. Other stuff has 3 toughness, that's good though. Not everything. The Chaos Warps can hit the 3 toughness. That might have been a little bit of a. Okay, we're on the play this time. Yes. Yeah. Um, the fact that they just have mana open is kind of scary. I think we don't just want to run our recruiter into scariness. They want to blow up a Cratermaker, they can. Got first strike, so just kill. Interesting. You We just play this out. That's interesting. Maybe we play out the Snoop as trying as a value piece. I don't want to save this. Interesting. Let's try and get some value here. Close to. They don't kill our Snoop. We get to combo. Kill the Snoop. Thing. Kiki-Jiki. Conspicuous Snoop. I think we want to do another conspicuous Recruiter. Back of that. Kiki-Jiki, Recruiter, conspicuous. Torch Courier's in play. Bottom. Extra. Others. We just shock now? Trigger, right? They got removal here, which is fine. It's not fine, but you know. I should have put another Snoop here. That was dumb. There should have been a Snoop to play right afterwards. I regret this tremendously. Yeah, that was not smart. I messed this up. I should have been able to play another Goblin immediately afterwards. We should have been able to play a 3-drop Goblin, because now we have nothing to throw. That was just... Don't love that. Um, can't play it yet. We got a Luris in hand and Unknown. Drawing another card here, so let's see what they got for us. Luris and 2 Unknown. I gotta play faster too. Getting sleepy. It's showing in my play speed. Wait. Wait. Not Luris. Okay. Pretty good. We screwed this one up. I screwed. Now we've got no Torch Courier, which is... They can play Guide of Souls. Yeah. I think I definitely punted this. So they got Luris in hand. We know what's coming. Gonna draw Conspicuous Snoop. Draw a Conspicuous Snoop. We're gonna play it. Then we're gonna have 3 mana. We're gonna do this smarter. Smarter this time. Going to play Mogg Mob, maybe? Yeah. Conspicuous Snoop. They got Luris in hand. Conspicuous Snoop. Do blockers, don't we? I don't need to kill that. Mogg Mob. Kiki-Jiki. After that, if that doesn't work, Battle Cry Goblin. Mogg Mob. 3 little guys. No, Mogg Mob. We're running out of time here. Um, an F6 here because we got nothing. Oh, they can also play the Guide of Souls. I forgot about that. That's a problem. Do we want to use this now or no? Got one card in hand. We have to. I think we're just dead because we're at 2, aren't we? Frustrating. Yeah. Oh, this is a 5/5? I forgot about. I mean, we're just dead. Yeah. And now we're dead. All right, here we go. Last round. See what our opponent's playing over there. Blue. Don't know what that means. Alright, so it's, I guess, a living end deck. So we want Torch Courier for sure. Kiki-Jiki. Conspicuous Snoop. I think just another recruiter afterwards if we rebuild here. Courier, Kiki. Sure. Well, I'm not sure what they could have for one green blue that stops us. Interesting if there was something. Cycle land's interesting too. That mean they're on like a fluctuator combo kind of? Run fluctuator combo, I think we want removal, right? I assume it's some sort of a fluctuator. That's the case. I think we do want the shocks, right? They can play like an early creature, and if we shock it, it buys us some. Shocks. Try that. A lot of the other cards are good. That's not a great hand. I think that's a mull. It's pretty bad. Better. Was it Living End? Living End. Oh, I screwed up. It's Living End. They should have brought in the Graveyard Hate. Oh, that was terrible. I punted pretty badly then. And they can just take our Goblin Recruiter and we die. I guess the Living End would bring back the Goblin. Yeah, my inexperience in the format is what screwed me up here. I did not realize we were against Living End because I did not bring Graveyard Hate up. Torch Courier. Kiki. Conspicuous Snoop. I guess Recruiter. Recruiter. Okay. Yeah, not having the Graveyard Hate now feels incredibly dumb. But we didn't draw any of our shocks. So. If they can live in an instant speed, they don't have to do it now. They can wait till we start comboing. But they've got the 3 mana one. We can't really play around it though, can we? See. Do we want to play the Battle Cry Goblin? So the thing is, if they cast Living End, we can, in response, Volcanic Spite our own thing. This is what I'm talking about. Wait a second. Now, we are going to blow up our Goblin Recruiter. That resolves. Oh, I forgot to sack the Torch Courier. Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot to sack the Torch Courier. Ah. No, that was ridiculous. Yeah, we had the win there if we just sacked our Torch Courier. 4, 8. I think we're just dead. Let's see. And doesn't really matter. Draw. I don't know. Conspicuous. Kiki-Jiki. Yeah, that was a punt. That was a big punt. Bottom. Good to see. Bottom. That's good to see. Top. Not sure if we die here. I didn't do the math. Six, seven, eight, nine. Blow that one up. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 22. That would be lethal. I think we block. I shoot this one. 10, 15. Block. 6. Kill that. They have a removal spell. Well, give it game 3. They do. They got a removal spell. Interesting. Yeah, that Torch Courier punt killed us then. He had the win with the Torch Courier. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, we that's very frustrating. It's always frustrating to lose to your own. So we can make a bunch of Snoops. And we don't have the mana. Die. Can't copy the Goblin Recruiter. So that was dumb. If we would have just sacked our Torch Courier, we would have won. That bunted. Alright, let's bring in our graveyard. Hey, that was ridiculous. Even do anything. Maybe just having a more aggressive start would be good. Try that. Getting sleepy. Let's see what they got here. Yeah, we're gonna punt away this game. We want lands. I don't think we're gonna stack too many goblins on top. We'll just do Torch Courier, Kiki Snoop, and then see if they got a win. Conspicuous Snoop. Let's see what they got. We don't have a land, which is very annoying. So, you lose to just interaction. They got the thing again, the turtle. All right, fair enough. Maybe it was better just to play out other stuff and keep Spectre there. And now we've got this mess to deal with. Sim is going to get countered. No? I guess they're just going to combo then. I got another turtle. Assume we're just dead here. Yeah, it was. This is all on me for. I had the game locked up in game 2 and then just didn't decide to win. Back my Torch Courier this time, doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, well, oh well. Wasn't in prize contention anyway, but it is dumb. A way of getting the key back is. Yeah, but the Kiki in our hands is going to kill us. Oh well. Yeah, should have just one game till we had the chance. GG. Okay, so for my first and as of recording this in mid-December, only actual value vintage tournament for prizes that I've played, that went pretty good. Obviously towards the end, my play wasn't spectacular. We finished 2-3, and we could have won the last match if I would have just sacked the Torch Courier in response to the living end like I was supposed to.
like on the spot immediately and finish 3-2, which would have been a really good result from my first um, you know, value vintage tournament. I would have been very happy with 3-2. I would have put us in top 8 in prizes. But I didn't get there, and that's okay. We will try again. I think the deck's good. We did clearly struggle in rounds 3 and 4 versus the kind of like mid-rangey controlling decks with a bunch of removal. I'm not exactly sure how to fix that. Like, obviously, I think we want some more card advantage engines in the deck, which I think is the answer to that. We want things like, I think it's Runbelt Hordemaster, which is a card advantage engine. Even something like, I forget what it's called. It's 3 in a red for a 2/2 haste. You look at the top 4 cards of your library and put all goblins into your hand, like that kind of a card from like classic legacy goblins is quite strong. I think there's like quite a few ways to improve the deck. Like obviously Aether Vial would be great. We just can't afford it. Yeah. I think a lot of it depends on the price. I think this is one where you gotta like if you're considering it for a tournament, look at how it's trending price wise going into it and see like what cards, you can kind of fit in here that are great. Like Runbelt Hordemaster is great. Forgetting a lot of the card advantage cards are good. Like cards like Gempalm Incinerator provide good card advantage. Snoop's great, obviously. Yeah. Got other ideas, let me know down below, but for cheap card advantage engines here, we just weren't grinding well enough against the energy deck. I think that's one to consider. It's a popular deck, it's very strong and has a lot of ways of getting card advantage and as removal so it can stop our combos, so I think that's one to think about and an opportunity for improvement with the deck. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that and see you next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment all that jazz for the algorithm.